Welcome back to this video tutorial. We can discuss about the string reverse program in this video. That means the string reverse program without using any inbuilt reverse function. Okay, so here it is a character array str and rev. This str is initialized with a string, that is string itself. Okay, and it is end with a null character at index position 6. Okay, so the length of this particular string is total how many characters? 6 characters. So the string length is here 6 for the input. Okay, and here it is another character array rev in which we need to generate the reverse form of str. That means GNI-RTS and end with a null character at 6th index position. Okay, so what are the operation we need? We need to copy each and every elements of our input string to this new character array in its reverse order. Okay, from where we want to start copying? We want to start copying from index position 5 because a null character at the beginning, it will not generate any resultant value. That means for a string displaying, whenever a null is obtained, it automatically display that null value. Okay, this the presence of this null actually indicates the end of a string, right? So we need to start the copying from this particular index position. Here the indexing is starting from 0. So for this particular string with total 6 characters, the index values ranging from 0 to 5, right? The index values ranging from 0 to 5, total 6 characters are available here and the index values ranging from 0 to 5. Okay, so now we want to start from this 5th index position. That means the length minus 1th index position. From here, we need to copy one character from this particular position and place here in this the starting position or at the 0th index position of this resultant character array. After that, here we want to increment one position to next, and here we want to decrement one position to next. Then we want to copy this to this position, first index of our resultant character array. Again decrement here, copy this to this, and again decrement here and copy this one to this position. And continue whenever this index value decremented and whenever that value become less than 0, we can stop copying. Okay, that means after copying this s to this 5th index position, again decrement this particular index position to next, then it become -1. Okay, whenever this index value become -1, we can stop this copying and finally attach a null character to the next index position of our resultant array. And finally we can display this array. This is our operations we require to generate the reverse of a given string without using any inbuilt reverse function. Okay, so consider this case. The same string str as the input string with how many character? Total 6 character in the string. But our indexing starting from 0. So how many indices are needed here? 0 to 5. Total 6 indices. Okay, and at the end here we attach a null character in order to indicate the end of the string. Now we initialize an index parameter I to this particular index position 5. Why? We want to start copying from this particular position. We don't want to start copying from this null character. So skip one position back and fix our index variable I to this particular position. That means the length of this string -1. Here we can initialize this I to this particular position. And similarly, another index variable, we need to point to the 0th index of our resultant array, resultant character array, REV. So this is initialized to this position. Okay, what is the next step? We need to copy this G to the, from this 5th position to this 0th index position. After that, we need to increment this to the next position like this. Okay, we want to decrement I one position back like this. If this I now pointing to a value which is less than 0, no, I now pointing to 4 which is not less than 0. So continue this copying. Now again increment j by 1, decrement I by 1. I now pointing to index 3. Is this 3 less than 0? No. So we can continue this copying. Again increment j by 1, decrement I by 1, and now this I pointing to index position 2 of our input array. As this 2 is less than 0? Never. 2 is always greater than 0. So continue this copying. Again increment j by 1, decrement I by 1. Right? Now this I pointing to 1. Again condition is not true. That means I is greater than 1. Okay. Sorry, the condition is true actually. I is greater than 0. Okay, so continue copying. Increment j by 1, decrement I by 1. Now I pointing to 0. But it's again equal to 0. It does not violate the case, that is I greater than or equal to 0. I is still equal to 0. So continue copying. Again increment j by 1, decrement I by 1. That means I now become less than 0. Right? Now we can stop this copying operation. Okay. And what we want to do? We want to append a null character at the end of this resultant array. Now our operation is completed. Now we can display this reverse string REV. Okay, so before starting displaying the resultant value, we need to append a null character at the end in order to complete this string. Right? Whenever this null is present here, then only it can, or the put or printf statement can display this string. Right? So now we can consider the program for this particular reversing operation. So here we have the same str array. One input string is get here. Initialize this str with an input string from the keyboard. Now n indicate the length of our string. Now we can start our looping where I is initialized with value n minus 1. That is, if n equal to 6 and then we want to pointing to 5th location. So that is why I equal to n minus 1. Then check if I greater than or equal to 0, we want to continue the loop body. And at each iteration, at the end of each iteration, we want to perform a decrement operation. Right? Now, what we want to do? We want to perform this assignment from the input array to the resultant array. That is REV of J. J is initialized with value 0 is equal to str of I. Right? Then we want to increment j by 1. And repeat this again and again and perform, execute this loop body until it satisfies the condition. And whenever this I become minus 1, we can skip this loop body and append a REV of J is appended with what? A null character. This is a character. That is why we want to represent it using this single quote. Right? So now we can display this printf reversed string is using this put as we can display our reversed string from the string. Right? Now we can execute this. Okay, I'm going to enter the string. Right? So reverse string is GNIRTS. GNIRTS. Okay, for more clarity we can put a space here. Right? So once again we can execute this. Sorry. String. Reverse string is GNIRTS. Okay. Now using this same program we can perform one more classical program, that is for checking whether the string is a palindrome or not. Palindrome means what? The string and the reverse is equal, then we can say that the input string is a palindrome, like Malayalam. If this Malayalam and its reverse of the Malayalam is Malayalam itself, so we can say this Malayalam is a palindrome string. Okay, so after reversing we can check, if we need we can check whether the input string is palindrome or not. How it possible? For that we need to check if the string and the reverse are equal or not. How to perform? For that we can use here the string manipulation function strcmp, string comparison. We can compare the two strings, the input string with the reverse string. If they are equal, then it returns as 0 after executing this strcmp. For that we can use the same n here, n equal to strcmp of what? Str comma rev. Right? Now using this if, we can check if n equal to 0. What's the meaning of this n equal to 0? If this n is 0, that means these two are equal. If n is negative or positive, from this we can conclude that the string is not equal. Right? Okay, so now we can display, if n equal to 0, then display printf given string as palindrome. Right? Else we can say that this is not palindrome. Given string is not palindrome. Right? Okay, now we can execute this again, and I'm going to enter string itself. Reverse string is this one and given string is not palindrome. After this comparison it displayed that the given string is not palindrome because these two are not equal. After comparison again we can execute this. I'm going to enter Malayalam. Right? So reverse string is Malayalam itself, so it displayed like given string is palindrome. Right? So this is a common example for checking two strings are equal or not. Example for finding whether a string is palindrome or not. Okay,